Now, the meeting between top diplomats of U.S. and Russia in Riyadh marks a pivotal point by the Trump administration to reverse U.S. policy on isolating Russia. Now, these talks aim to set the stage for a meeting between Trump and Putin. Ukrainian officials are absent, and President Zelensky insists he won't accept the outcome without Kiev's involvement. Now, but what is Putin seeking, and what deal is he trying to secure? Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov says Russian President Putin has consistently shown willingness for peace talks. He emphasized that achieving a comprehensive, long-term and viable resolution to the Ukraine conflict is impossible without fully addressing Europe's security concerns.
Putin himself has repeatedly said that if necessary, he would be ready to negotiate with Zelensky. As for the security architect in Europe, of course, a comprehensive settlement, a long-term settlement, a viable settlement is impossible without a comprehensive consideration of security issues in the continent.
Russian President Putin has repeatedly told the European Union that if they want to end Europe's energy crisis, it should lift sanctions preventing the opening of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Europe has accused Russia of weaponizing energy supplies in retaliation for Western sanctions imposed on Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the US, UK and EU, as well as countries like Australia, Canada and Japan, have imposed over 16,500 sanctions on Russia. While the primary target? Well, Russia's finances. Around $350 billion in foreign currency reserves, half of its total, were frozen. The EU has locked down roughly 70% of Russian banks' assets, with some even cut off from SWIFT, the global messaging network used by financial institutions. Putin may demand the removal of all or nearly all of these sanctions. The Russian president has demanded that Ukraine withdraw its troops from the regions that Russia annexed in September 2022. Russian permanent representative to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, stated during a UNSC meeting that Ukraine has irrevocably lost Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia and Kherson. Nebenzia called for Ukraine to cede the roughly 30% of the total area in Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson that Russia does not currently occupy. The Kremlin also reiterated its demands that Ukraine cede additional territory in eastern and southern Ukraine to Russia and disband the Ukrainian military in the future and become a demilitarized neutral state. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov briefed media after meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Saudi capital Riyadh. He said deployment of NATO troops in any way, shape or form in Ukraine is unacceptable to Russia.
So, as we explained today, the appearance of troops of armed forces from the aforementioned NATO countries, but under a foreign flag, under the flag of the European Union or under national flags, does not change anything in this regard. This, of course, is unacceptable to us.
As part of demilitarization demand, Russia may even ask for a reduction or full withdrawal of NATO forces from Poland, the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania.